All right, everyone. It is 3:30, so we'll get started to be mindful and respectful of everybody's time. Sai, y'all can hear me? You're good? All right. So I'm obviously not Amy Barber. Amy couldn't be here today, so I hacked into her account to get this meeting going. So what we're going to do today is we're going to hear from a couple of different guest speakers. Here's kind of the agenda for the day. For those who don't know me, my name's Kaylin McKee, and I work with Amy Barber in the College of Education and Human Development here at UL. So the format for today is going to follow the agenda that we do every time. So we're going to have just updates and events. We're going to hear from Dr. Amy Weems at ULM. She's going to give us some information regarding the state conference for this year. Then we're going to talk a little bit from Dr. Ellender, and then we'll just have open general discussion at the end. And we have a couple of prompts in case others don't have questions or anything for us. All right, so just in general, some updates. So for those of y'all who potentially don't know, oh, thanks, Sai. The state conference is on Leap Day this year on February 29th at UL Monroe. So we're going to hear from Dr. Amy Weems in a little bit regarding that. Following that, on March 9th, we have our Teach Out Loud conference that is sold out. So that's very exciting. But we do have a link for a wait list for any of y'all who work in a parish or a school who your teachers may not have registered yet. There's a way to get on the wait list for that. On March 19th, we're going to have our regional conference here at UL Lafayette. For those of y'all who live in or around Lafayette, on April 19th, and we will send all this out in email, we will have our last Educators Rising meeting here on our campus, and that is open to all high school students who potentially want to come or who will be coming here next year. If they want to come and attend, we do our end of semester projects, and our students actually do the presentations for that. So that will be exciting. This summer, and Dr. Amy Weems can talk a little bit about last summer, but this summer, UL Lafayette will be hosting the Aspiring Educator Summer Academy. We do have a short video to show y'all. UL Monroe hosted it last summer, and so we're kind of flip-flopping. And so if y'all have questions more about that, but that will be open to high school students. And then for anyone interested in the national conference, that will be in Washington, D.C., June 28th through July 1st. So again, y'all will have access to these slides, or y'all already do have access to the slides. But here's the link to the website. It's open for registration. If anyone's interested in doing a proposal or doing a competition with, or your students doing competitions, the registration, everything, the website's super user-friendly and everything's up and ready for that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it again because Amy's going to be talking about that in just a minute. Our Teach Out Loud conference is for teachers. It is sold out. They've sold out 500 tickets, which is super exciting, but there will be ways to join a wait list. So that event or link y'all will be able to sign up for, or if anybody's interested in volunteering, maybe you've attended before and you want to help, there's ways to volunteer as well. Regional conference, we've talked about. The last meeting of the semester, our students, as you can see, they do this every semester. They present their end of semester presentations, and that is really fun and exciting. And then now we're going to watch a short video. And then after the video, if y'all have questions, we can ask them now. And Dr. Weems, do you want to potentially, before I show the video, talk about the Summer Academy or what it was like last year just for a couple minutes?
So we were pretty much the first state in the country to do a program of this nature. We will be talking about it at the national conference this summer. We did a week-long residential experience for students. So if you think of like Girl State, Boy State, and Teacher Leader, if they had a baby, it was this. And we brought in around 70 students to stay on our campus from Monday through Friday. They did tours of the city with the mayor and his leadership team, all from the lens of like community demographics and how, communities are impacted by schools and vice versa. Students planned and implemented lessons in all of our city community centers. So that was kind of the big field experience component. We had a lot of panels and other on-campus field experiences as well. It was an exhausting week, but it was one of the most fun weeks I've had at work. It ranks right up there at the top of my list of most like impactful experiences. We had
Hey, watch this.
We had around 20 different collegiate students from different teacher prep programs, and we had advisors as teachers. And so it was amazing. It was just such a great week. We're so thankful that it's continuing at ULL. We're glad to pass the torch. So this video is kind of a highlight video from the week. It was co-sponsored with LDOE, Tori Hayward when he was at the department. So you'll kind of see that come through in the video.
Yep, and then we'll play the video and then I'll kind of follow up with just a couple of comments.
The Louisiana Aspiring Educator Summer Academy is a week-long experience for young people who are interested in a future profession in education. Throughout the week, our participants have been mentored by an incredible staff of college students that are all enrolled in Louisiana teacher preparation programs and a team of advisors who are all practicing educators across the state of Louisiana. Throughout the week, we really work to build an experience that brings young people behind the curtain.
Okay, so Sai notified me that y'all can't hear the video. Can y'all not hear it at all? A little bit? Okay, it's there. I'll send out the link, or maybe I'll just put the link in the chat.
Hey, Lynn, it's not horrible. It's just really low, but I mean, maybe it's just my old man hearing. So maybe somebody else chime in if they can hear it. There is audio, it's just really low.
Yeah, I'm getting this. I don't have great speakers on my computer, so it could be that. So I will put the link in a minute because I'm juggling a lot. I'll put the link in the chat by the end, and then y'all can save it and y'all can watch it. But it is a great video, so I'll make sure to put that link in there.
And Amy and Kate, is it okay if we share this video with the students? Because I think it's a great time to start promoting to the kids that we have right now. I mean, I'd plan to, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's on YouTube and stuff, so it's
okay. I just wasn't sure if it was
public document. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that being said, so it's also being sponsored by LDOE here. These are the potential tentative but for sure dates. We're still waiting on the official contract to be approved. We got the contract or the formal like notification towards the end of last semester. So we've been pre-planning and scheduling with like our dorms and our cafeteria and all those fun things. So in general, the basic information, there will be 100 spots for high school juniors and seniors across the state. So from any high school, from any parish, 100 spots. And then we will be hiring about 20 staff members, and those staff members can be college students who are in teacher preparation and or even like teachers out in the field. So if any one of y'all are interested potentially, when we create all the information in the registration, y'all be the first ones to get it. We will send out those links. We haven't fully planned or prepared out the full agenda for that week yet, but we're going to be doing some of the things that Dr. Weems mentioned. We're going to be hopefully partnering potentially with other camps, so that way our attendees can work with students on campus. We'll be doing social events at night. We will be doing conference-esque sessions or lessons during the day, demoing to the attendees like great innovative lessons. So again, I think Dr. Williams did a great job. It's going to be like a teacher camp, and it's going to be awesome. So they'll stay on campus here. Like I said, we'll be going and doing things in town. We've thrown out a lot of different ideas, and so now it's just putting that official agenda together. So as of now, does anybody have any general questions, either for myself that I may or may not can answer, or I can write down and get answered for you, or for Dr. Weems regarding this?
We hope you guys will have permission to do a session or multiple sessions at state conference to recruit. So be thinking about that.
Okay. For sure. And like I said, it's going to be like I will say the grant, it's free for the students. So they just have to register. We're going to be working with Dr. Williams with the registration and whatnot and the application. But they can come and it's free to attend. And then we will be hiring college students to potentially run it. So some will be college students, myself, Dr. Barber, Dr. Adams. We will also be on staff, but yeah, we will definitely be getting some college students to help be there. Kind of think of it as like RA situations. So they'll be staying in the dorms with the students, but then they'll also be running the sessions throughout the day. And if we split into small groups, our college students will go with the smaller groups and make sure they get to where they need to go. And again, the registration for your high school students, we will have a registration form, and then we'll have a registration/application for anyone who wants to work the camp as well. Great questions. Any other questions? To answer Faye's question, I'm not sure what dorm they're putting us in yet. We will be told that through housing, and I'm not sure which one.
Okay, did you give the dates yet?
So
yeah, it's sitting. Never mind. Well, is that the? Yeah, never mind. I see him now. Sorry.
So that's like 90% certain that those are the dates.
All right. I was sending out messages to I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. All right, so we're excited about that. So be on the lookout, and we'll share more information for sure during the March meeting. Oops. Okay, and then the national conference is June 28th through July 1st. This year it's in Washington, D.C. So very exciting stuff. All right, so now I'm going to throw it back over to Dr. Weems, who's going to give us more information about the state conference. And then I have a couple of slides to Dr. Weems if you want me to show those, but the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much. We cannot wait to have you guys in Monroe on February 29th. It is Leap Day, and we haven't put this out really big, but please encourage your students to wear their most fun tennis shoes because it is Leap Day, and we will be having all the fun leaping little things that are happening throughout the day, but also because we are going to be walking around campus, and so we want them to be comfortable. We will even give leeway to that for the competition, so they will still wear like their business dress, but they can wear that with their tricked out tennis shoes or bring their shoes in a bag and wear their tennis shoes for the rest of the day. The conference theme is Discover Your Legacy. Future slides will have that whole logo everywhere. But really the most important thing is if you have not already done so, please go to the ulm.edu/edu lead. That is the jump page for all things state conference. So if you need to register, go there. If you need to sign up for competition, go there. Session proposals, judges. If you are willing to serve as a judge for a competition, sign up there. If you are going to do an exhibitor table, like colleges typically do those, you can sign up there. So that is the homepage for all things. We will kick off at 8:30 with the opening keynote. So registration will begin as early as 7:30. Sorry, I have a call trying to come in. Can y'all hear me still? Okay. So does anybody have questions about the day? We will wrap up at 3:30 with the closing keynote and awards. Lunch is provided. The conference fee is still $15, and that will include lunch, swag bags, and a t-shirt. Regular registration for the state conference ends on February 1st. That is the last date that we can guarantee you the great conference t-shirt and all the swag bag things. So please get on and do that. I know that Cy turned in a huge registration for 112 people, I believe. So if you're not included in that, you can go to the website and register. We can go ahead and look at the information about session proposals and stuff on the next slide.
Just to
Kaylin.
confirm, you said registration that morning will begin at 7:30 and the session, starts at 8:30, right?
Right.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, we will officially kick off keynote at 8:30.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So with the session proposals, guys, we need more session proposals. Right now, we only have enough to cover about 1 breakout sessions, and we have 4. So please think about things that your students are doing that they would love to talk about, or if they would like to be on a panel. We need more. Hey, Lynn, are you coming that day?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love for you guys to do a session on like movement in the classroom or something like that. I think that
Okay.
would be super fun.
Got it.
The deadline for session proposals is January 19th. We're hoping to have enough to fill all of our 4 breakout spots by then. But if not, we will extend that deadline. We just have to have plenty of time to review the proposals and to notify people that they have been accepted. Conference themes and strands are there. Discover Your Legacy is the overall theme. But then there's some other sub themes and strands that are listed there. All of this kind of aligns with the Educators Rising national mission and standard. So that's where all this comes from. Any questions about the proposals? The session proposal is not super long. You do not have to send us your whole slide deck or anything like that. You have to have an abstract and a plan. And the abstract, I think, runs like 50 to 75 words. And the plan is as long as you want it to be to give us details about what you want to do. So just know you don't have to have the whole thing ready by January 19th. You just have to have kind of the skeleton and the general ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions about that? And you do not have to be members to do a session proposal. You do have to be registered for the conference. So once we get the session proposals in that Google form, we will cross-check to see if you are registered for the conference, because those 2 things both have to be in place.
Amy, I'm going to ask I'm sorry. I thought you were asking for
No,
questions.
go ahead.
I'm going to ask an
Yes,
in the
go.
weeds question, and I bet you y'all have already had this, but I'm assuming we'll get an email before with parking and logistics and all that. I hate to be like that, but I'm bringing
No,
112 people, so I
absolutely.
kind of want to know, to where to have my buses. I'm sure you're going to send that out before, but I just wanted to make sure.
After the February 1st deadline for regular registration, we will start communicating all of the details and logistics for campus, for parking, for buses. We're looking at up to 3 different bus drop-off locations around our main spot. And we are on the athletic side of campus, which is relatively open. So, but we will definitely start communicating all those details.
Thank you. I just wanted to be sure. It makes me nervous, bringing that many people. I wanted to make sure we knew what we were doing.
Nope.
Thank you.
You're going to be good.
All right, so like Dr. Weems said, there's a lot of different presentation styles too. So we'd love it if the high school students put in presentations, or collegiate students, so they can get really creative with what they want to do and also their topic. We do have a slide with some proposal tips. So if you have access to this PowerPoint, or if you don't, email and we can send it to you.
Oh, I know.
You can go over these proposal tips and they can practice in your Ed Rising meetings prior to the state conference.
And for each different link on our EDU page, our ulm.edu/EDU lead, every button that you see, register to attend, submit a proposal, register to compete, there is an info page hyperlink just below that button. Mm-hmm. So you'll have a full page of more details if you need to look at that before you register.
Yeah, the website's super user friendly. It's really easy to follow. Okay, so register now before the 19th. That's when the proposal closes. Also for conferences, right, Amy? I mean, competition.
Yes. Now for a competition, if you'll back up one real quick. These are the steps you need to follow if you want to compete. There are a little bit different guidelines for competitors versus sessions. If you want to compete, you must be registered at the national level. That is the big difference between proposals and competitions. So get your students registered, then do the competition registration, but also make sure that you have registered for the conference. So just like with proposals, we will cross-check the competition list with the registration list. You have to be registered for the conference to be able to compete. So make sure that both of those things have happened. January 19th is the deadline for both session proposals and competition registration. With competition, you are not automatically guaranteed to be in. We will send you a notification that you've been accepted to compete by January the 26th. That way we have time to cross-check, make sure you're joined at the national level. We will also give priority to at least one competitor per school.
Real quick, Si, before we
Yeah, and just to ease anybody else's mind who's worried about, I've done whole classes of registering for Ed Rising. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get your kids on. And remember, if you purchase the curriculum, you have a bunch of free registrations available to you. So, I mean, it's really an easy process. It's not hard to get the kids signed up. And a lot of you probably have this already. So go ahead and do it. It gives them a chance to go to nationals, which I think is awesome.
Yes.
Dr. Williams, didn't you mention somewhere that there's a cap on the number of like competition students can apply for?
Right. So we're giving priority to one student per event per school.
Okay.
And if we have additional spots open, then we will do first come, first serve. So go ahead. I would say if you want students to compete, make sure you have at least one per school. But then if you want to register a second or a third student per school per event, go ahead. I can guarantee you one per school, but I can't guarantee more than that until we've looked at the overall registration. But we will notify by the 26th if we have spots for everybody or like who was accepted by school.
And then on their website, they do a really good job of outlining like which competition is for which. So some of these are not for everyone. So for instance, I work at a college, like my students cannot do inside our schools because that's for high school only. So you can kind of see who's for what. And then if you're not sure what creative lecture is, if you go to the composition prep guide, it explains what you're looking for, the parameters for that competition. And it also has the rubric for how the students will be scored during their competition. So it's all laid out very clearly. It's very well organized. So that way, again, like Si mentioned, if you want to do competition practice in your meetings or in your classes, and or your students want to grade their peers or use the rubrics to grade their peers to provide feedback, you have access with the actual rubrics that they will be using on competition day. So that's all laid out for y'all as well. And then again, job interview in all of them, they are asked to dress professionally, but like Dr. Wing said, except for their sneakers, they can wear their sneakers.
We want the fun tricked out sneakers, so
yeah, for sure. Okay, Dr. Weems, Sandra Castile said she would not mind judging something. Is there a judge registration page on the website? Or volunteer?
yes, right off of that EDU lead page. So just go to that ulm.edu/EDU lead, and there's a button where it says volunteer to judge, and we would so appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions about state conference before we kind of move into our next area? Questions, concerns?
I've got to go. I'm going to drop my email in the chat. If anybody needs anything, feel free to email me. Always good to see y'all. We'll see you up here in Monroe soon.
Hey, and also if you have the quick link to that video, can you drop it too? Do you have it handy?
Yes.
Okay.
I will find it and drop it in.
I appreciate you.
Actually, it's on the EDU lead page, so I'm gonna send y'all there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so if we have more questions that come up, y'all don't mind asking them or dropping them in the chat and we'll get to them. But now we're gonna go into advice from the field. So Dr. Ellender, you have the floor.
Everyone, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Good, great. So I'm not going to keep you long. I was asked to talk to you all about an idea I've been working on. I've actually been in the way now I can see you, Sai. I couldn't see you. The way I've been talking back and forth with Sai for a couple of years about a middle school Carnegie credit course. And I know it can be, we do middle school Carnegie credits in St. Landry. We've done them for at least 10 years. And I'm always trying out different courses and always trying to maximize both what's great for kids and what's great for schools, which is SPS points. And so I was really excited when I went on the tour in Lafayette to hear that Educators Rising was now on the Interest and Opportunities Index, which is 5% of SPS. And so I went today and I looked it up for myself and I clipped it. So it is there. It's number 17E4 if you're looking for it. And what's really cool about this, and I was actually talked about it this week in our staff meeting here at the central office, and already on the agenda to speak to our middle school principals about making it happen, not just talking about it anymore, making it happen. Because what's really cool is now that it's there, I'm sure most of you, if not all, are familiar with DCAI, and that's where the Carnegie credits also impact SPS for the middle school and the high school. So you earn points in middle school and in high school for the Carnegie credits they earn in middle school once they finish 9th grade. Well, STAR is basically a universal course for Jumpstart 2.0, which goes full implementation with this year's junior class. So the next year's seniors will be all 2.0, and so everybody under them are 2.0, including our current middle school students. STAR is basically a universal class, STAR 1. The code is 080100. If you want to go to All Things Jumpstart and look at 2.0 and pull up that universal course list, you're going to see it under work-based learning courses. Don't worry about that word work-based learning courses. The state just categorized them in these little neat packages, but basically they're universal. You can use them in every pathway except when you get into like those STEM specific pathways, unless it says otherwise. So that course is like listed in there, then you can use it. Otherwise, all the other pathways there, it's available. Am I making sense? Because sometimes I talk like everybody knows what I'm talking about. So like if you're looking at the pharmacy tech pathway, that's what's called a STEM specific pathway. Only the Jumpstart courses listed in there can be used, but any other like architecture and construction, business, hospitality, human services, the STAR would fit in every one of those. Okay, so that is it was a course, as most of you know, that was used years ago for basically what we're doing now with the Educator Rising curriculum. It was if you can Google it and find it out there. It's still out there in some school districts' websites, and kids basically learned how to be teachers in 11th and 12th grade. There's a STAR 1 code and a STAR 2.
And Dr. Ellender, just so if y'all are curious, the curriculum is out there too, and it's really deep and rich, and it's all written already, so it's there for us to use. So just if you're curious.
Thank you, Sai, because that was my second part. First, I just wanted to let you know. So that's a course code that you can use with your 7th and 8th graders. So where am I going with this? You can capitalize on both DCAI and INO, interest and opportunities. And DCAI just stands for Dropout Accumulation Index, course index. Do those words. It's basically accumulating credits in middle school so that you're less likely to drop out of high school. But STAR can be used. You just need 45 minutes a day to get a Carnegie credit, no less than 45 minutes into the middle school schedule for 7th and 8th graders. You can use it in 7th or 8th grade, and they can get the Carnegie credit, which helps with the DCAI. Then on top of that, if you implement the club inside of there, then you're doing your interest opportunity. It also takes away from you having to find club time. Principals struggle with that sometimes. also struggle with getting teachers who want to stay after school or before school, but the teacher themselves can implement the club. And so you're capitalizing on INO and DCAI with one course. Now you do have to, if you're doing it for the INO, you do have to have the teacher sponsor, you have to do the competitions, but they should be doing that anyways, to me, as part of the course. And the beauty of the STAR course and this course, you pretty much can put any curriculum you want in there. You can take, as Cy pointed out, that STAR curriculum is out there. You can have your teachers, and which is something I plan to do here. You can mold it to fit 7th and 8th grade. You can take out the parts that don't pertain. You can add in stuff if you want to add in stuff from Educators Rising. Cy's done a tremendous job, and he shared it with me, and I know he would share it with you all, of already pulling out stuff for middle school. So you could plug that in, and then you can implement the club aspects into the course as well, and make it a very rich and robust, rigorous course where they're getting a Carnegie accredited middle school. Your high schools are going to get points for that, and your middle schools are going to get points for that. And so it's like a double win. It's a triple win if you look at it also as we're starting in middle school to recruit for our staffing needs and our future educators.
That was why I had my hand raised. It's the perfect tool for us to build our courses in high school, build clubs. I mean, it's the perfect route to go. I'm so excited. Thank you, Dr. Ellender, for continuing to look into that. It fell off my radar, but you got me back excited.
Well, no problem. Dr. Barber called me and said, hey, I overheard a conversation. And would you speak to that? And I said, absolutely. I sure will.
And I would love to. And anybody on here who's not from Lafayette Parish, I am, as Dr. Ellender said, and I shared with her, we are working together. I like to think of this all as a team on combining elements from STAR that really fit with 7th and 8th graders with parts of the Ed Rising curriculum that could be duplicated. It's good for them to get it early and do it again in high school. And we really could build something really, really good, beneficial, and it's a great recruiting tool. I did drop the STAR curriculum into the chat too, if you're curious about looking at that.
And I also just dropped in the STAR course code and where it's at on that Jumpstart 2.0, and also the clip from Interests and Opportunities, so you can see where that is and what it says. And that's all I have.
Thank you for thank you for dropping those in there, because it makes it easy for me to cut them in. Thank you.
Does anyone have any follow-up questions for Dr. Ellender, or about course codes or implementation or anything like that?
I have one comment. I think we're going to do a great job together, Dr. Ellender. I really want this in place for our middle schools, and we're planning to pilot this at one of our middle schools next year. I would love if y'all can too, and we could come together and really show the state what a benefit this would be. So super excited. Thank you for keeping that in mind, and I appreciate it a lot. Your enthusiasm makes me happy.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you very much. All right, so now it's just kind of time for open discussion. So if anybody has any questions for Dr. Ellender or Cy, our kind of question today was, how are you preparing students for conference presentations or competitions? If anybody has any questions, or I know Cy has some thoughts about how he's done it before, or any other questions in general.
I am not going to take any credit on this. This is all our sponsors and teachers, but let me tell you some of the great things they've been doing. So we have most of our schools, I don't want to say mandated that kids participate and compete, but it was highly encouraged. And they're utilizing meeting time for practice and planning. I visited Bobby, and I know there must be some reason she's not on here right now, because Bobby's always here. She probably has an extracurricular. But every meeting Bobby had, the last one, she made sure that every single club member had one they were interested in, signed up, and they were practicing. They were on it, getting their presentations ready already, utilizing those club meetings. is a great time to do that kind of practice. She also has them come in the morning. She has some kids who get to school early and don't have a place to go. They're doing work then, but it can be done during clubs. But practice, practice, practice. The kids love performing in front of each other and practicing these things in front of each other. It's a great time to utilize your clubs that way. And even for the kids who aren't going to compete, they get motivated by hearing it. I listened to some of the speeches at a couple of club meetings, the Ed Rising moment, seriously, tears, I cry easy, but tears in my eyes with some of these moments. So use those clubs for that kind of thing. And if you're not planning on competing, ask them to maybe tape some of them for you and show them to your kids to motivate them for next year.
And to follow up on that, students who aren't competing, they could be practice judges and they can use the rubrics. And then that stems into a whole conversation about if the scores aren't aligned or if, whatever, then like, what does that say about the rubric and how are we using it, and so you can do a lot of things with practice for competitions for sure, even for students who aren't directly going to do it or attend the state conference. Anybody else? Comments, questions, concerns? All right, well, I'm all about being efficient with time, so I'm not going to waste yours. So the next regional meeting is going to be Wednesday, March 13th. So before the next regional meeting, obviously, is the state conference on February 29th at UL Monroe. And then for those of y'all who plan to come to our regional conference, and or people who have students who want to sign with the College of Education and Human Development, that's also March 19th. So the following week after that regional meeting is our signing day at UL Lafayette. So that's going to be the regional and the signing day is all going to be one kind of big event. We actually had a meeting today and we're going to have another meeting tomorrow. So we're going to get that information to y'all in the next week or two with the different registrations for students who want to sign for the signing day. And then also for y'all students who aren't signing but want to come to that regional event. Just in general, the regional is going to be not everything that we've been doing in the past. It's going to be very small. It's going to be in our Bayou Bijou room. We're going to have a couple of sessions. It's going to be almost like half-day programming. Then we'll end with lunch. And then after lunch will be the signing day. So your students can attend the signing day for those who want to watch their peers. And then that's when families and parents will be able to attend and all that. But it's kind of going to be a 2-in-1. So the morning is going to be the programming and the afternoon is going to be that signing day. And we'll send out the specifics with kind of an outline and an abbreviated agenda, just so y'all get times, so y'all can handle and organize buses and whatnot if y'all plan to bring groups of students. And I'm excited, Andrea, that you have a student who's going to sign. So they will be we'll be sending the links to y'all and they will send out like their name, if they plan to assign and all that. And we're going to get a short bio for them. So that way we can read that, what they plan to major in, their concentration and all that fun stuff. So that will be coming out to y'all shortly as well. So lots of stuff this semester. We're excited about it. All right. So that's all that I have for y'all. If anybody needs to stay on and ask questions, I'll stay on for a couple minutes. If not, thank y'all for attending today. And I can't wait to see y'all soon, hopefully in Monroe, in my neck of the woods. All right. Y'all have a great afternoon.
Kaylin, you did an awesome job. Thank you
Thanks,
for filling
Sai.
in. How's the start of the semester? It's going well?
Oh yeah, today was our first day with students, so it's going.
What you got?
I have residency 1 and residency 2 students. I have an online health class, and then I have a sophomore level methods course.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's my normal teaching load.
It is. Okay, nothing new, nothing
No
right.
new preps for me this semester.
Well, thank you for taking Amy's spot. It's
yeah, for sure. It's
you
a
do
team
an
effort.
awesome job. Enjoy the new car, and I'll be talking to y'all soon.
All right, see you soon. Have a good one, Si.
Bye.
Bye.